It's your girl EJ, and y'all, we are here with our ladies' night. We're going to be discussing Deadly Entanglement, a BET Plus original. And y'all already know I got the ladies with me, and we're about to talk about it, y'all. What's up, Tamika and Moochie?
What is up?
All right, y'all. So first and foremost, what did y'all think about the movie, Tamika?
It was quite interesting. It was definitely quite interesting. I was just telling EJ, backstage that I wasn't expecting to see Miss Simmons in here. I'm sorry, y'all. My mom is going blank with her name. But Run's daughter, I was not expecting to see her in here. I thought she did a good job with her acting. And as far as Monica Calhoun, I always liked her as the actress. I felt like we haven't seen her in a minute, or maybe it's just me. I haven't seen her in a minute in the movie. So I was like, all right, what's this gonna be about? Where we going? I thought I was predicting it from the beginning, but then I was like, oh no, it's not going exactly the way I thought it was gonna go. So it was okay.
Okay. Moochie, what you thought about the movie?
I thought it was actually good. I thought it was good. You know, a lot of people's not used to seeing Miss Simmons being an actress. And she did a good job, but I knew from we talked about it backstage. We knew, a lot of us knew her from her soap opera days. And she was doing that at the same time when they was on Run's House. So I got an enjoyment out of seeing her career. We watching her career progress. So I like that. I love that the person that was her menace, she's been, she's that girl that everybody can't stand in movies. Remember her in Players Club? She was in, she's the girl you don't like. So yeah, I liked it. It was good. Even the guy that played the husband was good. It was a good movie.
Yeah, I think they did really good with the casting on this one. I really thoroughly enjoyed this movie. So we're going to talk about it. Y'all know how I do. Y'all know I'll never go in nobody's order of nothing. So we just going to talk about it. Let me say what's up to the chat, though. What's up, Monique69, Wades Johnson? She's in the building. Thank you for showing up. Candy Love, Suburbia. He said that she did a great job. So that's what's up, Daria. How you doing? So y'all, so let's just kind of Rashonda. Sorry about that, girl. I missed you. You right at the top. Hey, Rashonda. But yeah, so I will start from the beginning a little bit here. Let me bring this in. Okay, here we go. So when we first kind of get started, we're kind of first getting introduced to the characters. And actually, I want to do this, y'all. I would like to play the trailer for anybody who may not have got a chance to look at it, so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. Let me find it.
He scores!
Dinner is ready.
Just a few more shots.
Jay, listen to your mother.
He's my blood, not hers. What's going on?
Ichi wants full custody of Jay.
What happened between you and Deidre?
It's not what you think. Our relationship was toxic.
What exactly did Charles tell you about me?
Be careful. That woman isn't playing with a full deck.
Damn, is something wrong?
Something just feels off.
My wife was attacked. This has Deidre written all over it.
What else are you hiding from me, Charles?
You cannot have what I built. Let's end this. Let's see how hot you really are.
Okay, y'all. So as you can see, there's the trailer. Probably gonna have to trim that out when this is over. But yeah, so that was the trailer. So let me see in the chat who saw this. I know Candy said that she saw it. Hey, Inga. Hey, Samara. Let's see. Lady Virtue. I like that. Definitely a different character for Monica Calhoun. Definitely, because girl, I'm still reeling off of her, not making it in The Best Man.
Yeah. For real.
This was definitely a little bit different. I didn't like the way she used her son as a pawn. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Yeah, and she
Mm-hmm.
did that for sure. So when we first kind of get introduced to these characters, we know that these two are married. They seem to have like, the picture perfect marriage. We know that no marriage is perfect, but they
Right.
definitely seem to be in sync with each other. It seems to be a good vibe. And then we learn that he is possibly about to go through a custody thing because his ex wants to be in his son's life. Now, we did hear him call Tammy um Jay's mom in the beginning, at the very beginning of it. So I thought that that was interesting how he has kind of, he basically is like, because Jay doesn't call her mom, if you notice that, but he calls her, he says, listen to your mom. So I thought that was interesting, but it doesn't take away too much of it. I just thought that that was interesting to point out that he does kind of see her as the mother figure, not necessarily who his mom really, who he actually had the kid with. So what did y'all think of this couple when y'all first met them? I'll start with you, Tamika.
Yeah, like you said, it just, you really don't know much. You just see that obviously they're husband and wife, and they kind of have, this business aspect of it where he seems to be the one that gives her the song. She's a singer, the rising star. Also looks like they've been in this relationship, for a minute. And like you said, he's basically like, do what your mom said. Your mom said, get ready to come in. And I felt like his son kind of was feeling a little awkward, but at the same time, he seems like, he feels good with her, but not where he wants to be calling her mom. So it was like, at this point, I'm just waiting, like, okay, I know it's going to be something crazy happening. What's going to be the crazy? Because right now, we just getting all of the good stuff of seeing how their dynamic is, how they work together, and how the family life is.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Moochie, anything you want to add to that? Are
I
you
saw it as first as just like them co-parenting, but it did seem kind of odd because she was kind of like she seemed kind of off from the beginning when you meet her.
are you talking about I can't think of what's the mama name? What's her name? Deidre. You talking about Deidre?
Yeah,
Okay, Deidre, yeah.
but
Yeah,
as far as the relationship with dang, I forgot their names. I hate
Tammy
Tammy
and
and
why I can't think of his name.
I can't think of his name either right now, but
Charles.
Charles.
Tammy and
Charles.
That's look. You know what? We be
It's
bad
always
mouthing
the Charles.
Charles and Chuck so much that I done blew past the name. But
Okay.
what I was gonna say is, it at first it seemed like it was a good co-parenting situation, but he seemed like he was walking on eggshells
Yeah, yeah.
in the beginning because and I didn't. I'm like, oh, what's going on? And then when it as it progressed, you see different. I'm gonna keep it right there. I'm not gonna go no further.
Oh no, you good. What up, VKJ? Thank you for stopping by. And guys, VKJ did do a non-spoiler review type of thing over this as well. So definitely make sure that you check that out. But yeah, so we kind of get this introduction to them, and right from the jump, we see that she wants to have custody of him. So there's this thing right from there, and then we meet Pam, which I love Pam, y'all. She didn't have like a big, huge thing, but for something about her, I don't even know if she's played anything else that I've seen, but I just liked the sister. I liked how she rode for her. I just liked all the aspects of this, especially when she told Charles, like, look, I'm not your lawyer. Like, I'm here for my sister, but she is giving him advice, and the best advice she can give him is to work it out, which I think that's probably one of the biggest pieces of advice that most people give people going through this type of thing, is to try to figure something out before you try to bring court systems into it. So I guess that's literally what they're going to try to do. So let's move on to Deidre, because Deidre is a waitress. She's there. She's supposed to be doing her job. She sees this photo of Tammy singing her song, and this is the point where it seems like she snaps. What was your impression of Deidre, Tamika?
Yeah, that's where I was like, all right, where exactly are we going with this? Because I felt like we've seen a story similar to this before. I definitely felt like, oh yeah, she's about to lose it. This was a song that was supposed to be for her, or that she was supposed to sing, or that she wrote, and she's now kind of taking it personal, like, you don't went too far. Now you gave her my daggone song. That was my first, instinct of seeing it, because it's like, you at work, people trying to call you, and she's zoned completely out. She wasn't hearing nothing. And so when she comes over to the house, I'm expecting her to, immediately address the song. But when she didn't do that, I was like, okay, so which direction we going in with this? And of course, we didn't know all her background and stuff like that at that point in time. But that was like, first off, I was like, all right, she's pissed because he gave her song away.
Yeah. And also, we also learn at this time that Tammy really knows nothing about her husband's past.
Yes.
Which I thought was interesting, how they were like, leave the past in the past. And I'm like, shoot, no.
Yeah. Because the thing about it is, this didn't come off as something that was new. It seemed like he had been with Tammy for a minute, like he had been separated from her, Deidre, for a while. If it was something that was fresh, then I could kind of understand it being conflict and maybe her not knowing as much. But since it didn't come off like that, I was like, so why does she not know nothing? And why is she, coming like this? So, yeah, that was a little strange.
Exactly. So, Moochie, anything to add about Deidre, or about how she doesn't know anything about her husband's past, how she's just kind of finding out these bits and pieces?
Yeah, it's like, I know they met because of work, because of the studio, but she knows really nothing about his past, and she's getting surprised at every turn of this movie with what's going on. And
Absolutely.
I'm like, well, why she ain't do no digging? You know how people are this at this time, and it's, people usually do some type of background check now. Or one of their homegirls do it.
Okay. And what's funny is
that I'm the homegirl. I'm the one that does the digging. I would have definitely dug up some stuff on Charles. We gotta check this so out.
We gotta figure out who this is. Okay, Lady Virtue 1 says the past can come back and mess things up. Better to be upfront about it.
Definitely.
Yep. Definitely agree with you on that. I just found it quite interesting that she was just cool, and that's fine. I get that. In the beginning I was like, oh, okay, that's so progressive, is what I was thinking, because most people want to know about the person's past. But something about just, I feel like people should know what the past is, because you don't ever want to be caught off guard. Like, it's horrible for somebody to tell you something about somebody that you're dealing with that you don't even know, even if it doesn't matter in the sense of affect you at this moment. But the fact that you don't know a piece of information that is important, that happened, that's important in their life, that, I don't know, that's messed up. Just saying. All right, so let's see where we're going from here. All right, so you talked about when she came over to the house. I think, let me see if I have it here, because I think I might have. Nah, I don't think I put it in here. So there was a scene where she tells him, like, look, we need to talk, but, I want to keep this. What did she say? I want to keep this in company, with some kind of way she worded it, to the point like Tammy couldn't hear. I'm like, girl, she a whole wife. What you mean she cannot hear what's going on? Like, I would have felt the type of way, but Tammy is classy, y'all. She is completely classy. I ain't even gonna lie to you, because the ratchet would have came out of me when she said that. What you think about this, Tamika?
Yeah, even though that's his wife now, she, basically was trying to fake her claim, and, be on the offense and be like, me and you have a child together. We're the ones that have a family. He's my blood. He's not her blood. So if it's therefore supposed to be about the son, then I guess, then she doesn't have any reason not to be there. She didn't need to do all that. She was definitely being extra, but honestly, I was, like I said, I was kind of thrown off that she came in and started talking about the son. I thought she was going to address the song, since that was the last thing we seen that seemed to have got her upset. So it was like, okay, now we're talking about the son, and we're finding out that she's been missing, out of his life, or not have full custody for these years, and we supposed to be slowly progressing into this. And it's like, well, what's making you want to come and do all of this now, and all of that. And Of course, she immediately went to that book and he hurried up and grabbed that out of her hands. But Tammy wasn't that slow because she still was, listening from around the corner.
She sure was peeking around that corner like I'm gonna listen to this regardless. But she tried to keep it cool, cute in front of her. I was like,
Right.
okay, girl, you better than me. What
Yeah,
you
I
think?
think from her end, she didn't want to make it seem like she was insecure about anything. So
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, y'all go ahead and talk.
But you know what? Being that they doing the whole co-parenting thing, this chick would have never came inside my house. She would have been at the not even in the driveway. You drop them off at the curb. I'm sorry.
what you
And
say?
this is why you're supposed to talk about your past, because he should have told, look, my baby mother kind of like a little off. He should have said,
Yeah, he
you
definitely should have
gotta give a
warned her.
chick some notice, yo.
Okay. Hey, Queenie. Exactly. Exactly. Like, nah, you got to get somebody a heads up because you knew that chick was. I mean, she was in a mental facility, and I'm not saying that.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna let that go. But she was in a mental facility,
Exactly.
so something was going on.
She was in the mental institution. I'm not gonna even say facility. I'm gonna say institution, because that's what she was, with a stray jacket probably and everything. Anywho.
And the thing about it is that in this case, him not telling her, oh Lord, they're going Kayla, she gotta join in. Him not telling her and him not telling his son, thinking he's protecting, but really you made them where you put them in danger that they didn't even know they could be in.
Exactly.
So it's like, did it really help?
Exactly. Now we're gonna move to and she said we shouldn't be said in mixed company. Girl, I was like, girl, I want to snatch you for saying that. Mixed company, what?
Mixed company.
Anyway,
He should have checked up right then and there. Anything you could
exactly.
say to me,
He
you
did
saying to
say that.
her, because that's my wife.
He did say that, and then
Yeah,
Tammy
he
took.
did
No, I know
actually
he
say
said
that.
it, but he didn't put his foot down.
Yeah.
There's a difference
You needed him
between when
to
you
assert
say
it, say it with his chest.
Yeah, he said it with his chest. Exactly.
I
Your
got
foot down, homie.
say it with your chest. Get it right. I don't know. He probably know how. I don't want to use the word crazy, but I'm gonna say it anyway. He probably knew how crazy she was. He was like, I ain't gonna say that in front of her. I ain't gonna say that. But okay, so let's move on to she comes back to get Jay, right? They talk, and you can, well, I do want to say this because you can tell that she was trying to reminisce when she first came in, and you can tell that she felt a way and that she almost wanted to claim ownership, like this was supposed to be her. Like you could really see it right from that moment. But anywho, moving on to when she actually comes to get Jay, this is when she really violated. So she comes to get Jay and she goes upstairs with him because he wants to show her his room. And this broad is all up in their room. Hey, kitty, kitty, kitty. She say she got to come talk about it.
He was like, no, I got to get up.
Mochi, what you think about this bride coming up in there and going in her room the way she did?
That, like I said, she would not have been inside my house. She would have dropped him off at the curb. And that would have been cordial enough for me. We don't need to be doing all of that. Well, let me just see what you live like now that you have him. No. Because she looking around, like you said, this is supposed to be my life. No, chick. No, it's not.
Doing too much. Doing too much.
Yeah, that was weird. That threw me off because when she came first, she was saying, we got to get up out of here. She's like, oh, so your dad is not here. You're here by yourself. Oh, you here with her alone? Like that was supposed to be an issue because he was like, oh, Tammy's in the back with her sister, and then he's like, come up and see my room, and she's like, no, I don't think I should do that. And then once they get up there, you roaming all the damn around and then going into people's drawers. I was like, what's going on? Y'all just knew she was gonna get caught.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then when she takes her bralette thing, and I'm just like, or was it a whole piece of lingerie? I can't remember. But anyway,
I think it was like the bustier child. I don't know.
The stuff, the sexy stuff. Her drawer was all packed neat too. I was like, dang, I wish my drawer was that neat.
My drawer does not look like that. My thing is stuffed, okay?
Okay.
I got the little things that you put the stuff in, like the little pockets that you put everything in, but I'm not like neat like that though. But
Yeah, that was super
I'll
neat.
be
I was like,
trying.
okay. But she takes her thing and she sticks it in there. The son comes in there. He's like, what are you doing in here? She's like, looking for the bathroom. And I think Candy just made a comment. She was like, the son is so timid and absent-minded. He didn't even pay her any attention. He does that kind of throughout the movie. But I kind of do understand at some point you can tell that he's just a child who just does what he's told. He don't ask too many questions, so it just was what it was. But I did realize that too. So they're gonna end up going to the back where the sister is like, "Look, if you need me to get at her, I will get at her for you." And then she's just like, "Look, let's just start over. Let's start over." And this is when she invites her to her home for a drink. So she ends up going to her home, and Tamika, kind of take it from there. What do you think about this interaction between them when they get to the house?
She was giving nicely. She was being nice, nasty, and I thought that was funny too when she walked up because I'm sure they heard a part of that conversation when the sister was going in, so it was so awkward. And then it's like, oh, come over. My liquor, cabinet stays open all night or whatever the hell she said.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they were there and she went into the whole, we fell in love, we made love. It was more making love than it was somewhere. I said, girl, you ain't got to sit there and tell her all of that. Like she knew what she was doing, but at the same time was trying to make it seem like she was cordial, being cordial and being nice with her. We just having this girls' night. And I think she started telling her about how somebody else had broke his heart and she knew the person's name.
Yeah, Jessica Dawson.
Jessica, okay, yeah. And so it was like TMI, and you just knew she was doing it on purpose, Then we gonna say how he got arrested, and it's all things that she don't know about. So, like you said, it's like you giving her the upper hand to be able to tell her things and her to hear it from her first instead of hearing it from you.
Exactly. That was too much. What'd you think about that, Moochie? What did you think about her, coming in there? She decides to go and have the drinks with her, but then first of all, the stuff on the thing is like a blast from the past. It's like she's living at a certain time frame. She definitely hasn't moved on. And I think Tammy kind of gets that feeling too when she walks in. But then when, like you said, when she starts talking about the love making, it was more love making than it was love songs. And then she goes on, she's feeding her all of this information. It's like the setup is happening. What'd you think about that, Moochie? What was going on in your head with that?
I felt like she was oversharing. You saying too much, and it's like you saying stuff to get a rise out of her. Like I said, I would have been like, all right, so let me walk you to the door. I don't understand why I felt like she entertained it too long, but I saw it in the same light that she wanted to appease her husband too. But then she was learning stuff that she didn't know, so she was intrigued.
Yeah.
I mean, she's saying stuff she never heard. Now, and I understand why she let the conversation go.
Yeah.
Because at one point she tried to play it off like, oh, I done said too much. And she was like, no, you ain't said enough. Like she wanted that tea.
Keep the wine pouring. Like, let's keep going. Let's see what lady. I definitely would not have been drinking with her, girl. Me neither. I would have been like, no, I'll bring my own drink. If anything, I'm bringing the wine if we're gonna be drinking, but I'm not gonna be drinking your wine. So they, have their conversation. Hey, Nita. They have their conversation and they go outside, and this is where we hear the dog barking, and she tells her about Renegade the dog. And I bring this up because it's very important, because it becomes a very important piece later on where she, with the dog. And so she just says, his bark is bigger than his bite. But then another interesting thing happens. She starts smiling and coo-hooing and all this stuff, when she gets this text message, trying to, once again, she's baiting her so much, and she's just kind of buying into this. And I can't be mad at Tammy because she doesn't know she being baited. Like I don't think she knows it just yet, but she's telling her about this dude, and she's like, is he cute? And all of this stuff. But you kind of see her light up because she's like, thank God she got a man, so maybe for a second, maybe she thought that maybe that she was trying something, but then she just lets it go because she thinks she got a boo possibly, and she encourages her to send the naughty pictures. What did y'all think about this guy? Did you see coming what would eventually come?
Nah,
I
I
was just
definitely
no.
didn't see that coming. I didn't know yet. I knew it was something off with it, but it was like she kept playing both sides and just kind of snapping back and forth. So it's something off with her, but you don't know the exact direction she going in with it. Because I was like, well, is she really, just playing with somebody on the side or whatever? But honey,
Okay, yeah, that I didn't see that coming either. The first time I looked at this, I was like, dang, they got me with that one. I ain't see none of that. Like, I didn't see that was gonna be the play. But as you go back and you look, you like, oh, okay, and you can kind of see it building up to that.
I
Let me.
was blindsided with it personally because I thought I thought she was like showing, look, I got a life. I don't want him anymore. I thought at first when I saw it initially happen, but
Mhm.
then as you saw her keep bringing him up, it was just like something's still off. If you got a man, why you still talking about him like this though?
So let's talk a little bit about the set. Let me go check the chat real quick, y'all. Just want to make sure nobody said anything else. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the setup because the setup, like I said, it kind of got us all. Let me see if I have a clip. I had a bunch of clips, but I didn't get a chance to import them all in. So I'm sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second.
Are you gonna be a good girl?
Didn't want to go to that one just yet. That's the Wishman duty. So let's talk about the setup before we get to that part right there. Okay, so there's a whole setup that happens before this goes down. And Poe Charles, y'all, I just feel so bad for Charles. Like, this the one time I can say that I was feeling bad for Charles because on one hand, I'm like, Charles, you just need to be honest. But on the other hand, Charles just kept getting hit left and right. He couldn't win for losing in this situation. But that's what happened when somebody know you. You know what I'm saying? When someone knows you enough to plant these type of things into a situation. But so the first thing is that so we see the text messages. She's texting somebody, she takes these pictures and she's texting somebody and she's telling them how she likes it rough. And he like, I like it rough too. And I'm like, what the hell? Oh, that's all got you a little dude. Like, we're still buying into the fact that she has this dude. But Tamika, talk about the setup as she actually puts all of this together and what she does with Jessica Dawson, the package, all that stuff.
yeah, because when he first gets the letter, I mean, I'm at this point I know it's her, but I still don't really know why. What's her whole reason? I'm like, child, I thought, like I said, I thought we was gonna be focusing on the song, and I'm like, we going further and further away from this song as we could possibly go. And she did mention to her at one point, like, oh yeah, I sung a little bit too. Of course, they had the conversation about how they used to always be in the studio, but now when he has this, he like, what are you talking about? And you could check my phone. She done locked him out and ready to throw him out and everything else. And then when she checks the phone and she texts and the text came back, I was like, yo, this lady is really something. So she's like, you full of crap. But I'm like, on one hand I felt bad for him, and on the other hand I was like, all of this would have been avoided had you just been telling her the truth and letting her know, like, Deidre's a hot mess. I know that she's the one behind this. The only person that's going to do something like this, it's her. I haven't spoken to no daggone Jessica in years. Let me call her in front of you or something. Like, and then of course she didn't start putting things together until, unfortunately by that time it was a little too late. And then when we seen her keep texting back and forth with this person and saying all of that, I want it rough and I like it rough. And he like, I said, don't tell me she about to send him to her house. Like, then it started clicking for me. I was like, oh, please don't tell me that's what's about to happen. And that's exactly what was happening.
That's when I caught on to it too, Tamika. Because I was like, oh shoot, she texting the dude. And then when he started talking, I was like, oh man. You know how you get your aha moments when you be watching stuff?
But Moochie, the way that she set this up was so, I can't even lie, it was good. Like, she had everything thought out. As what if he says, well, just text him? But that, and Candy just said something that makes a lot of sense, y'all. When your ex knows him 1,000% and the newbie knows nothing, that's a hurtful thing to deal with. But
It is.
at the end of the day, she knew
Definitely.
what he would do. She knew he would say, check my phone. She knew that, and she was ready for it, and it just played right into it. It was crazy to me. What else do you have to add to that scene? Any thoughts that you had, Muchi?
With the whole scene with the son, because he knew something was up too with that whole scene where
Which
he
part?
was with the whole thing. Well, I don't know, am I going too
You
far?
think you jump into the end part, the
Yeah,
other
I'll
part,
keep
the
no,
other
I
part?
don't,
Yeah, this is
with the as far as with the with her texting and she's standing right in front of her doing those texts.
when
Like
when the package arrives from Jessica Dawson, and it has the handcuffs, and it has the sex toys,
and
and it has
she was suspecting him. She was suspecting Charles, and he was like, no, this ain't me. I know nothing about this. But she didn't want to believe him because, once again, because he never talked about his past. So
yeah.
he left himself open for something like that. I'm
That
sorry.
is true. That is true. That is very true. All right, y'all. So we know she ends up, he says, okay, so they get into this argument and another setup, because now, and I didn't put the slides in here of this one, but there's going to be a point where she has Jay still. She's going to get his key, right? And she's going to end up being able to make another key. That's because, Jay is just happy to be with his mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all it is. So she gets the key somehow so that she can make a key, but she also brings Jay home early because she already knows everything that she has set in motion. So she brings
Mm-hmm.
him home early, and they're arguing, and Jay sees this. Clearly this isn't something that Jay is used to seeing because he's, a little emotional about it. And then the husband does exactly what most husbands would do and say, I'll leave, you stay. And the way Tammy walked off from her, she was like, bitch, I ain't got shit to say to you right now. Bye. And she just kind of walks away. And Deidre's happy because she knows exactly what she's done. But most importantly, she puts that copy of that key under the mat and then sets this situation up, which
Oh, when
I do
she
have
put
this
that
clip.
key under the mat, girl.
Mhm. Yeah, she sure did that one. All right, so let's see. This is this.
Are you gonna be a good girl? Are you gonna be a good girl? Yeah? I'm just following your lead. Now you're gonna follow mine, okay? Yeah? Good. This is fun, isn't it?
Man, so so this broad literally ends up setting this up to where she's been acting like she's Tammy this whole time, and all those messages is her pretending to be her. And now she has sent this man over there, invited him to their home, and now he's coming over there thinking he about to have a good time, about to do some strange stuff that apparently he like to do. And Tammy don't know what the hell is going on, but she did think quick on her feet. What'd you think about that scene, Moochie?
I thought that this was cool because she was kind of figuring it out, but it's like when she put the key under the mat, I thought it was she was gonna get caught out there with it because she wasn't, to me, she wasn't hiding it that good. And the guy that she basically hooked him up with is a monster. So that was crazy to me too.
Yep, definitely. Now, right before that scene happens, Tamika, that's when Tammy figures out what's really going on. In a sense, like she puts two and two together. She done kicked the husband out for nothing because she realizes that the handwriting.
Yeah, basically when she looked at how love was spelled, and then looked at the signature on these papers, that she all of a sudden wanted to say, "Oh, it's not going to be no problem with the custody and all of that." Is similar. So that's when she had called her sister back because the sister was there just a little while before that and asking her did she want her to stay, and she had told her, no, you go ahead home. And she's like, wait a minute, like something fishy. I think she even tried him too and got his voicemail. And she told her she was gonna come to her, but of course, before she could get to her, you already had this dude coming in the house. I was like, oh Lord, child, she was fighting her like, oh man. And he honestly, even though he was psycho too, but it was like, you know, I've been getting these texts from this person and these pictures and stuff. He really thought that this is what she wanted and this is how she likes. So he probably like, well, why the hell you saying something different now? You've been saying this the whole time. And I love the fact that the phone started, you know, vibrating and she was able to go ahead and put it out. For some reason, I thought he was going to pop back up.
Okay.
When she was trying to get it out. Yeah. And, you know, she's seeing for herself, like, wait a minute, I didn't send these. What the hell is going on here? So, yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
And then she was able to hear them daggone dogs in the background.
Okay. Exactly. And that goes back to the doggone dog, which we talked about earlier, because when she called that phone, she heard the dog because Deidre was smart enough not to say nothing.
Yeah, they both was on the phone like nobody wasn't saying nothing.
She like waiting on her to say something. I was like, yes. Okay, I said, okay, Deidre. And I was like, she's like, I told him not to call. So I want to travel back to I don't even know if I'm traveling back because I can't remember.
Yeah, that was some real thick stuff. I was like, yeah, this lady needs to be locked up in somebody's damn asylum.
Oh yeah, she was there for a reason. Like how you get set someone up to be a girl.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's crazy. That was crazy to me. I'm like if you gonna set somebody up for some, like, come on, but to get assaulted, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I do want to talk about this other part. I want to talk about the story that we heard remember when she talked about Charles being in jail, or that he went, that he got arrested. I'm sorry. What up, SJ? But she talks about how he was arrested, and we later learn the story behind it, and that Charles was actually, he tells her, you know, that he didn't do it, but she had to get the real because Charles ain't being real. And she like, I gotta get the real. So she get her sister. Her sister tells her, like, look, he didn't do anything. And it turns out that Deidre actually conspired with the guy to set Charles up, y'all. So Deidre has been on crazy a long time ago. Like, she been crazy. And she been obsessed with him because as we learn more about the story, and when we get to that part where they're singing the song, because the song is what's triggered this whole entire thing. But was it not interesting how the song was never hers? Because I was like, in one part, I was trying to rationalize it a little bit. I was like, okay, I can understand why you be mad somebody done gave your song away. The song was never hers. What the hell?
Yeah, I thought it was a thing of like, we built this up together. We both used to co-write songs, or he was giving that song to me and I was singing it. I think in her head she may have thought that, and there was, he did say like in certain parts that she would help him with, or she sung a little bit, but that wasn't really her thing. She wasn't on it like how Tammy is or whatever. So as much as I thought that that's the direction it was going in, after a while it was just like, no, Deidre's just really out of her daggone mind. She probably should have never been let out the asylum in the first place, because they were saying how she was doing so much better. She had got out. She was working. I even thought maybe she was mad, like, well, you got a certain lifestyle now, but here I am having to work in this, dino, whatever it is, as a waitress, like something along them lines. But then it was like, no, we can't make no excuses for Deidre. Deidre just don't have it all, and she don't need to be walking around the streets at all.
At all. Yeah. So then so after this scene,
7:30.
Oh, go ahead. Hold on. Let me bring it back up. What'd you say?
I said she's 7:30. Crazy.
Oh, 7:30. Gotcha. But girl. So let's talk about the next part where, so after that all happened, they call the police and all that stuff, and Charles is like, look, like Charles back now. Like we know that this is who did. Well, at first I think she was the one who told them, like, look, hey, this was Deidre. So they call the police, get the police over there, but they don't really have a lot to go on initially. But Deidre calls her, like, Deidre, like, forget this. I'm about to go toe to toe with this woman. She calls her and wants her to meet her. And Tammy spins some story about a warehouse or something like that to trying to get them away so that she can actually go and meet her. One thing that stood out to me in this movie is how much Tammy really loved Jay. Like, she cared about this young man enough. And I know she loved her husband, but to me, it felt like she cared about Jay. It was all about making sure he was safe and making sure he was good. So she decides, hey, she goes and meets her where she's supposed to meet her at, and then there's this big showdown between them. What you think about the showdown, Moochie? When she gets to the
Y'all know I like cat fights. You know I like cat fights. This is a good fight. That's why I was like, remember when you asked me in the beginning? And that's probably why I keep jumping to the end, EJ, because this part was like, I like my fights, y'all. So
girl,
this was a good fight. We done seen her mess with so many different men, talking about that character, as far as being the girl that messes with somebody's man and stuff like that in the movies. I forgot her name once again. The ex-wife. So I thought this was kind of cool, y'all. I mean, I thought that she went there. I thought it was a bad idea for her going there. I knew it was gonna go sideways, but I was there for the drama.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find this one. I'm gonna bring you up. Which one? Hold on, while I bring this up. All right, Tamika, tell me what you thought about this whole scene, and also talk about Jay for a second, because Jay gets to see a side of his mom right before they go here. Jay is worried about Tammy,
Yeah,
and
you could see he has a connection with Tammy too. Just like what you were saying, Tammy has one with him. Like, at the end of the day, he still respects her. He's still like, she's never been nothing but good to me. He's just kind of like, can't we all just get along? He loved his mother, and he loved Tammy. He loved his dad too. He wanted to go home when he first initially saw that story on the news. And she like, no, you don't need to be there. And then it got to the point where she done slapped him. She ended up running over her sister. Child, she was being a minute. She drugged him. I said, wait a minute, did she knock him out with pills? At first, I thought she was about to take the pills too. So when she all of a sudden went and knocked her off the bike, I said, well, damn, I wasn't expecting that. I'm thinking you about to out yourself out here or something. I said, girl, what is going on? So I was glad that Tammy was able to get there and was able, to give it to her. She had to struggle a little bit when being tied up in that chair and everything. But I was like, girl, get her. Yes. I was happy. Like, beat her behind this. She was choking her with that cord, and she over here talking about something. Do it. But she know, like, that would have probably made her look even more bad, in the sun eyes.
She
at the
wanted
same time.
her to
The only
do that.
thing she really wanted to do was make sure he was safe at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then that pissed Deidre off even more, because she was like, oh, you think I would hurt my son? I would never hurt my son. Well, you hurting him any damn way. You hurting everybody else, girl. So we don't know.
exactly. Here go that scene you were talking about. Oh, Deidre done knocked Pam off. I said, dang, what Pam do? I mean,
Right.
she finds out
Because she
information,
did tell him we waiting for Aunt Pam. I said, damn, she really was standing there waiting for her. Like, she knew the time she would be coming riding her bike. I said, girl.
She was doing a whole bunch of recon, like recon, trying to find out everybody's schedule.
Yes.
When I saw her come around that corner, I knew I said, she gonna hit this girl with her car. I was like, and only reason why I think she did it, because she was the one that was keeping up with everything, when she was letting them know this is all coming from her. So she had to, she had to freaking just make her put her down for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, exactly. So hold on, let me.
Jay deserves better.
Boom, Jay deserved better, girl.
Right.
Mm.
And he do. Jay absolutely deserved better. I did
Mm-hmm.
like the way that she took her out, and then when the husband pops up, he's like, "I didn't buy that story. I tracked your
Mm-hmm.
phone." So I was like, "Okay, okay, Charles, you paying
Yeah, because
attention?"
me and her was asking at the same time, like, how you got here? So I like the fact because I think the warehouse was what she mentioned when she originally was talking to her was the place that he had to go back and work at one
Yep.
point. So,
Mm-hmm.
now we got the cops going there to look. And I like how she said when she asked her, how did you get them to, go to, listen to you and let you leave or whatever, or have them go away? She's like, oh, he's a man, you just tell them anything and they follow what you say. Where you at, girl? That's what I want to know. I'm coming for you.
Okay, where
It's
you
like, all
at?
right now.
Yeah. So pretty much, y'all, that was the big gist of
Yeah,
the
she was a
movie.
hot mess.
She is a hot mess. That was a big gist of the movie. I really enjoyed this movie. Y'all know I actually review and look at a lot of BET Plus movies. It was my goal to actually review every last single BET Plus movie that there was. BET Plus original. Let me be
Hmm.
clear, original, because there is a difference between just regular movies on there and the originals,
Right.
because I just think that I love how they give people a chance to put their art out there. And so I'm
Hmm.
always going to be I'm always going to be on top of that and always want to just be able to support just those shows. Now I want to talk about the last thing real quick, and that was the happy ending, because I was happy that they got their happy ending when it was all said and done. We thought they were about to move, and then she decides, no, we're not going to move. We're not going to move. And she tells him, like, because, there won't be room for a nursery. And then this is when we find out that, that they're going to have a baby as well. And it just all came together. So I really, really enjoyed this particular I enjoyed this one, y'all. What are your final thoughts about the not about to say television show, about the movie, Moochie?
My final thoughts about this movie was with this whole thing. I would like to know if, how can I say it? I'm trying to put it into the right words. My final thoughts about this movie was it was good. It was a cautionary tale about people talking about their past.
Okay.
And I feel like this is like of a rule book of what not to do when you're having a co-parenting situation when you don't know that much about the ex.
Okay, girl, cautionary it is. What up, SJ? What up, what up, what up?
Yes.
Appreciate you coming through. What about you, Tamika? What are your final thoughts?
I enjoyed it, and I feel like you never know, child. If I was them, I would move because there could be a part two. She could still break out. I know we seen her
Mm-hmm.
before we got the happy, and then we seen her having a little, nightmare when she was standing over. I'm like, oh Lord, don't tell me she done got away from her already. So but hopefully that they don't, and they can have he can have his son and his little brother, because she said she felt like it was gonna be a boy. And her sister was all excited. Charles was being all slow, like, wait a minute, what are you talking
Like,
about? Everybody else
Charles.
was catching on quick. So, but it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I
me
enjoyed
too.
it. I like that little spin.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, y'all
I'm
gotta
glad
make
I got to see it because EJ told me about this movie like a month ago, and we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about doing this, and I was trying my best to do this where I end up getting the app. So thank you, EJ.
Yeah,
You're
Mm-hmm.
because
welcome.
when you told me about it, I told my sister
Mm-hmm.
and my girlfriend and my cousin. I was telling everybody, like, watch it. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. So speaking of, I just want to talk about BET Plus movies real quick, y'all. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
telling you earlier that that was one of the biggest things that I always wanted to do was make sure that I review those, and just because I always feel like we should support Black art, because regardless of what we think or what anybody thinks, there the things that people say about BT and all this type of stuff, they do give people a lot of chances. You do see a lot of people pop up, you know what I'm saying? People whose careers that you thought may be over, you see them there. And you also see a lot of people get a lot of starts, new creators, new writers, new directors, people that may not be able to get on mainstream. So I just feel like it's always important to showcase that art. And I do just want to encourage everybody to look at the new movie that I believe just came out. Tamika, you told me about that one already. Do you know the synopsis of it, or the one that
Oh,
you're
yeah, sisters. I believe it came out tonight, and I think it's been on the BETPLUS app. Since this morning when I was up there watching this and watching all the policemen, I saw it. I haven't watched it yet, but I've been telling everybody to watch that one because I do want to discuss that, and I know that we got oh God, Columbus Short, Little Mama, Sierra, I forget her last name. There's a few people in there, and basically it's supposed to be where their grandmother's raising them. She's been diagnosed with cancer. She needs some type of treatment, and they don't have the money. So it looked like we gonna be out here, doing some hype, trying to get up money for grandma because we can't let grandma go out like that. And that's basically what they show us in the trailer. So yeah, I'm quite interested, and I would like to talk about it. It just so happens that my fam actually did like the sound production on it, so that's how I first heard about it, because he had put up a post on Facebook saying he did all the sound from beginning to end, and I was trying to see if I could get an interview with him. Haven't been able to do that as of yet, but I definitely want everybody to check it out. Maybe we can have a day next week sometime that we could talk about it, and everybody can join in the discussion about it and see what it's talking about.
Absolutely. So y'all make sure that y'all go and check out Sisters. I haven't got a chance to look at it yet. It literally just came up on the
Yeah.
app today. The trailer is out for it. I meant to put the trailer in here, and I apologize, y'all. Your girl was a little slow today. I was a little behind, but definitely go and check that out. Right after this, we are about to talk about The Shy, y'all. The Shy is back. I think this is one that comes on at midnight, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
I
it
know how some of
does,
them do the
boo.
midnight.
Midnight
Yeah.
tonight.
Okay, so it is midnight. Okay, so
I
definitely
don't
check
know if
that
I'm gonna
out.
make it to see it, but it does come
I
on
don't know if
midnight
I'm
tonight.
gonna make it either, Tamika, but we are definitely gonna talk about the trailer. We are gonna talk about theories, predictions, all that good stuff. Let me get Moochie up here because we're about to go over to her channel, girl. Tell us what we're about to go do.
What we about to do? We about to have fun, y'all. We had fun over here. We gonna have some more. When we come to my channel, we gonna do some trivia. We just gonna chat it up. And this Thursday night we pre-gaming for the shot. Ew.
Girl, you gonna start a doggone phenomenon with that damn ow. Every time I be thinking about something and I get
That's
it, I
like
be
my
like,
little accent on it. Like I'm adding like a cherry on the top. That's the
my
cherry,
bad.
y'all.
That accent, it just comes out. My bad, but you make it sound so good though. So
Oh,
you know.
thank you. I don't know
But
about that. I just
y'all,
sound like every other New Yorker.
ah, girl, you got your little
Candy says
spin.
she is
Trust me.
excited for the shot. She done caught up. You go, Candy. She's new
All
to
right,
it. She
Amen.
bit it.
Well, all right, y'all. We're about to head on over to Moochie's channel. We're gonna go ahead and get that set up so we're gonna jump off of here and go straight over there. So if you
Right.
can join us over there, then please go ahead and come on and join us. If anything, if you can't stay, just go ahead and hit the like button on it and then come back and
Look,
watch the
come there,
replay.
wipe
Okay.
your feet off by hitting that like button, y'all. Put us up in that algorithm.
Hey,
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
All right.
Well, we're about to
I'm
get up
trying
out
to
of here,
get myself
guys.
together so I can come on camera.
Okay, exactly, girl. Okay, that's what's up. Well, anyway, guys, we're about to get up out of here. We appreciate everyone for coming through. Candy Love, Imani, SJ came through. Miss Kira Speaks came through. Our girl, Lady Virtue, was definitely adding to the conversation. We appreciate you. Inga, Queenie, Suburbia came through. We had Rashonda in the building as well. Daria was in the building. And anybody else was in the building, we appreciate you guys. And we up out of here, y'all. Peace.
All right, Sean.